Hey guys, Sabu here, and today we're gonna learn how I edit my pictures from this to this, and let's get through my editing routine. So let's get started.
You can use Lightroom or Photoshop, it's up to your personal preference, but today I'm gonna go for Photoshop. So the first step you have to do is just load your picture, just like that. And my first step is to go to the camera raw filter and make the basic adjustments. यहाँ पर आपके पास exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites and blacks हैं. And these just help you bring out the best of your picture. So the first thing I like to do is fix the exposure of the picture. जब आप इस picture को देखते हैं, it's a perfectly picture because when I take pictures, I want them to be perfectly exposed. And so my first step is to fix the exposure of the picture. If you are a photographer, your first aim should be to get pictures that are perfectly exposed. In some cases, people like to take underexposed pictures so that they can break up the exposure in post-processing. But now this picture is perfectly exposed, so I don't have to work that much in that portion. I'm going to bring down a bit of contrast, and with the highlights मैं थोड़ा सा कम कर दूँगा. Now shadows, I'll bring that up to bring that little detail inside the hair and the dark part. As you can see, I can show you the before and after version of the picture, so I can just work around with what suits the best. I'm gonna bring down clarity for a bit and bring down the shadow saturation for a bit, just like that, to give it a more moody look. But now the skin is looking really pale, so I'm gonna go to the HSL menu. I'm gonna work with the orange tone of the skin. It's too reddish right now, so I'm gonna go to the other side and I'm gonna fix the saturation of the picture. That's it. Now you can see it has a more fadish and a moody look into it. To add more to it, we're gonna go to the tonal curve. This is the part which is really critical and the most important part of the editing. It really changes the pictures, so I'm going to guide you through what it is. So इसके बाद हम लोग जाएंगे the tonal curve side. यहाँ पर the first thing we fix are the mid-tones to make it perfectly exposed, and then we work with the shadows. If you bring it up, you can see the amount of fade it puts in, so we're going to bring it a little bit up, and then that's enough, I guess. Yeah, that's enough. And after that, we're gonna go to the sharpening menu. You can use these values. Yeah, हर picture की अपनी अलग value होती है, but there's a shortcut. You can press Alt and just work through the best. These white outlines, the part our software will sharpen the picture. So I'm gonna put it towards there so that the outlines of the face are focused, and then we'll sharpen the picture to this value. And I always bring up the noise reduction a bit to end those unnecessary grain. For the split toning part, I don't use split toning that much, but for this sake, I'm going to bring a little bit of cool tones on those highlights. And for the shadows, I think they're well, or we can just put a little bit of yellow in those to bring that summery vibe, and I guess that's it. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is go to the camera calibration center, and this part is the most critical part of a picture. So you can see these tabs work with different colors in our picture, and we have to make that perfect balance between all those settings to make the perfect outlook. So in this case, I'm going to work with I'm going to bring this up a bit and lighten the shape. I really like the skin color. The primary part for this basic adjustment is to maintain the skin color of yours. I'm going to bring this down a bit. And for the reds, we're going to go up. And I feel the picture is too yellowish, so we're going to go back to the hue set part, and we're going to bring this with a more orangish side. I guess that's it. Then you press OK. Make things, and now you're here. So the first thing you need to do is make a new layer. You press this and you duplicate the layer. In this layer, your main part is use the spot healing brush. It's here, and all the blemishes on the skin. This part is gonna take some long, so I'm gonna fast forward this part. Once you're done with the blemishes, you can see the end result here. We fixed all the blemishes on the skin. After we are done with the blemishes, हम लोग अपनी लेयर की 2 copies बनाएंगे. Now this is the part where we will work. So जब आपने blemishes हटा दिए हैं, अब हम लोग frequency separation करेंगे. Frequency separation एक method है to retouch skin where we separate the textures and the colors of the image and we work on them separately. So for that पहले हम लोग अपनी background के 2 copies बनाएंगे. We're gonna name this one color and इस वाले को हम लोग name कर देंगे textures. And we're gonna group both of these layers and we're gonna work on them together. We can name the group frequency separation. Trust me, it took me 3-4 months to find the right tutorials, and I really hope I can get through with this and I can help you all know what to do and when to do. The first thing we're gonna do is gonna select our color palette. We're gonna make this layer inactive. We're gonna select our color. We're gonna go to the filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and we're gonna set the amount to a part where our skin is smooth but also doesn't lose its texture. Like, don't go to values like these. यहाँ तो आपकी skin ही नजर नहीं आनी. Just go to a part like about 16 or like between 16 and 19, and that's the part where you set your setting for the blur, and then you press OK. You make this layer active again. You select this layer, go to image, apply image. In the layer, we're gonna select our color layer. We're gonna, in blending mode, we're gonna go to subtract. Scale should be 2, offset should be 128. Then press OK. Now go to the blending mode of the layer and select Vision Light. Now this way, now you can see how your textures and colors make up the whole image. When we put this group off and जब हम लोग अपनी actual image को भी बंद कर देंगे, you see these 2 layers make up the whole picture. This layer makes up all the textures in your picture, and this layer makes all the colors of your picture. So they both combine to make up your final picture. So in this case, हम लोग color में जाएंगे पहले, and in this part we have to select all the parts to make this smooth. हम लोग अपना lasso tool पकड़ेंगे, and by using our lasso tool, we're gonna make selections like this. We're gonna go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and we'll use the same value we chose. It was like 16.4. And in this part, you have to make sure that your feather is really low. It's about 50. Just keep on continuing. That's it. We went to every part of the skin and we worked on the colors. You can see the different. It's a really minute difference because it just fixes those textures and it blends in all of your. Perfect. And now I left some of the blemishes so I can tell you the purpose of this layer. Now go to textures. Again, pick your spot healing tool and you can work on those blemishes. Yeah, actually सबकी आंखें असली पता चलती है, but like you have to eliminate all those दाने on your butha. For better help, what you can do is just make the blending mode of this normal, and then you can see the blemishes that are very prominent and you can just fix them like this. The blending mode back to normal again. Now you can see the basic adjustments we made to the skin. This is our frequency separation tab. And now once the skin is done, I'm gonna take you guys to the more color grading part. My first method is to go use solid color. You can use any of this color. First make a layer, put it above your separation tool. You bring down the opacity to about 10 and then you switch the blending mode to soft. And see, it brings about color palette on your picture, and you can choose whichever color that suits your picture. In this case, I'm gonna go with something more brilliant. That's it. I use this one. The next part is go to gradient. These are the highlights again. You can choose any color you want, and this is the shadows again. You can choose any color you want. You press OK, and then go change the blending mode to soft light. And now see, that's the difference it makes. You're gonna turn down the opacity a bit, and then work on your gradient. Once that's done, our picture looks a bit too yellowish. So the most powerful tool of Photoshop, we're gonna go to selective color. Now what this does is we can choose any color we want and we can set their settings. We're gonna first go to black. We're gonna bring it up a bit of way. That's it. See the changes. You can see the changes pretty well. So what we can do is just put them all up. So now, two layers, the color grading and the frequency set. So now to the third step, we're gonna sharpen our picture. Again, make up a new layer. We're gonna leave it high pass. We're gonna go to the filter tab, go to other, high pass, and we're gonna set the reading to about 3 to 3.6. That's it. And it's gonna make a layer like this. So for that, what you have to do is just go to and select overlay. Do you see the amount? That's how it sharpens your picture. You bring these back up and you just select all the layers. The last thing I'm going to do is just make a new layer. Go and select the dodge tool and bring on the subject's face to beautify it a bit. So these are our before and after shots. If you need any help, you can just text me up. My purpose today was to give out a platform to everyone to know how they can manipulate the pictures in different ways. The settings I did were all on personal preference. If you have any other preference, you can just manipulate the settings and work according to your will. I really hope आपको मजा आया. This was my first try, so I really apologize for my stutters and all, but I wanted to make an informative session about how I go about my editing. So if you have any more questions or if you have any more ideas, you can always hit me up on my Instagram or in the comments below. So I'll see you next time. Allah Hafiz.